Now then, get your equipment, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game. Genesis 27:3.
All right, everybody, as you can see, I've got a buck on the ground, and tonight I'm going to show you guys how to field dress a deer by yourself. So with that being said, first things first, just going to go ahead and get this deer off the sled, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, now once you got your deer ready to go, I like to carry some string on my pack. I think these are actually some leftover bootlaces, but something like this or paracord will work just fine. You're going to want to have like 2 of them. So I keep these on my pack at all times for situations just like this. And what we're going to do is, one at a time, I'm just going to take these, and you're going to want to get near an area with either like a small tree or some saplings. This is some honeysuckle grown here, and something like this will do just fine. We're going to take our string. We're going to come up near the shoulder as best we can. And then what we're going to do is just double wrap it. Just like so. Hold on to your other string so it doesn't get lost in the snow. And then we're going to come over here . And what we're going to do is, we're just going to take our string, we're going to get it around the sapling, and then what we're going to do is just pull it pretty tight, and then just tie it off. And for situations like this, I like to do bunny ears, so as if you're tying your shoelaces for the day. That way it's easy to get undone. Now we're just going to take our second string and do the same exact thing with the back leg. Here we are, and again, just tie it off. This ain't got to be perfect or nothing like that. It's just got to be good enough to get the job done. Cool. Now we've got our deer tied up. Now it's going to be much easier to work with because you're by yourself. Alrighty, and now it's time to pick out your sharpest knife, because this is when it's important. So I've got one of my favorite knives here. This knife's by Evolution. I think this is actually a bait knife for fishing. Picked it up at Walmart for probably less than 10 bucks years and years ago. Anyhow, now's the time. You're gonna get over here, and I like to use my own legs and you know, kind of use the leg to spread, keep it over. And now, especially when you've shot a buck, it's time to make a crucial decision. You know, are you going to shoulder mount this deer, or are you going to European mount this deer? You know, because if you're going to European mount it, you can take your knife all the way up to his throat. If not, and you're going to shoulder mount, that's when you're going to stop up here on that shoulder line. And I don't even know, because I've never shot a buck that big. With that being said, I'm just going to take this knife and get started. So first things first. You kind of want to figure out where the rib cage drops off there into the diaphragm, which is about right there, because you don't want to puncture down there and get the stomach. Like I said, I made the decision that I am going to European mount this deer. So I'm just going to start up here, right on that his breastbone, and make my incision. And then what we're going to do is just follow that all the way up to the throat. And remember, it's very important to have a sharp knife. Dull knives cut more people than sharp knives. When you have a sharp knife, you don't have to put as much pressure. Like you can see, I'm just going to continue following up there. And then I will get up in there in a little bit. So now that I've got that open and exposed, you can come in here and, you know, cut it down, and we will here in a little bit probably. you know, just keep following it down and whatnot. Now what we're going to do is take our knife, because this is a buck. You're coming in here where probably his penis is, and we're just going to go, we're going to pretty much bypass that, if that makes sense. So you come in here, and I'm going to make 2 incisions, one going around each direction, because all that is, there's a bunch of fat in there, and you're just able to cut all that away. It'll make it a lot easier than trying to figure out the deer's anatomy at the middle of the night. But careful, once you get back in here into your hindquarters, that's where you could screw up some good meat. Again, we're just going to keep following this down like so. Now, again, here's my area. And again, I'm just going to pull up. And you can see how I have that area exposed right there. As you can see, I've got that big chunk there that I was talking about, and you see how this just cuts down. Oop. Don't nick the guts. Okay, now we're just going to come up here on the belly, and I like taking this really far down. So, and don't worry about that. That's not meat that you typically eat. We're just going to keep working this down. All right, everybody, as you can see, I've got that cut on both sides down as far as I was wanting to go. So again, we're going to find where the rib cage breaks off down into the diaphragm. We're going to make just a little incision. Right there is where you get into the gut cavity. All right, and now is when you want to get your gut hook. Again, find where we made the hole, and then you're just going to take your gut hook, keep applying pressure up, and we're just going to go straight down with it. And this is all your stomach liner. Being careful, being very carefully cut that away, or break it more open so you can have more access. Now I'm just going to take my saw and then break this rib cage down. And there you go. We've got the chest cavity broken open. Again, go back for your sharp knife, and we're just going to cut some of that liner out of there. Again, try to be careful not to ding the guts. You're going to cut that liner down, open yourself up here. Then you reach up in here, find your esophagus. You're going to give that a cut. And then, in theory, you should be able to rip all this out. Now, you want to take your knife, and you're going to cut down and split your 2 hindquarters. wish I could say that went as graceful as the doe, but it did not. But there you have it, your field dress deer. That whooped me. That hindquarter was a lot harder to split than what I remember. But once you get that split, you're the butthole, I don't know the technical term for it, but that's what's going to come out. You're going to get the rest of those guts and you know, be able to cut around and get all that stuff out. But thank you for watching another video of Kicking Feet Outdoors. I'm going to get this buck back, get him cleaned up and hung and dry aged for a couple days. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, like the video, and share it with a friend. And until next time, stick with it.